Do you want me to get a program? Thank you.
All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Blackford Sports Network, home of your Blackford Bruins. Tonight's contest is the Blackford Lady Bruins hosting yet again another night with the Daleville Broncos. And I believe last year Daleville kind of whooped up on the girls, on the ladies. But this year, if things go according to the JV game, I think we're going to be all right. And with me, a special guest tonight, he is a teacher at the high school, a former broadcaster, and we've been talking for, I don't know, probably about a month, 2 now?
Yeah, at least.
About broadcasting. So, yeah, face it over there, Alexa. Yeah. It's Dr. Nolly. How are you today?
I am great. Thank you for allowing me to come in and sit in tonight. I'll tell you what, we have a nice crowd tonight on a beautiful night. It's like a really fall, beautiful night coming over on the drive over. But, hey, we had a great game 2 nights ago, and you did a great job. Well, you and your daughter did the play-by-play color commentary.
Well, I don't know about her. I did a good job.
Well, yes, that's right. No, she's looking at me with that evil eye.
Yeah, I was going to say, she's going to start giving us dirty looks. All right, the girls are looking good. Everybody asked me last game why I didn't show the warm-up, so hopefully we've got enough on for the warm-ups tonight. But the score of the JV game, because we didn't get on here early enough to get that, was 92-10 in favor of the Bruins. And I got to tell you, it was just an old-fashioned woodshed type moment. And the girls really just did a good job tonight. And a lot of the bench players got to come off the bench and see some action. So hopefully the ladies have a little bit of that same fire going into the varsity game. I talked with Coach Waters on Wednesday about Daleville, and he was telling me that some of those girls that they had last year that were really good actually graduated, and they've left and moved on. And that Daleville seems to be in a bit of a rebuilding, but we'll find that out a little bit later tonight. Their roster says otherwise. They've got a couple of seniors, looks like 4 or 5 seniors. 1, 2,
yeah, 5 seniors,
5 sophomores, or 5 juniors, and just 2 sophomores on the team. All of their other sophomores and freshmen are playing JV. So it looks like they may have been in a bit of the same situation as we had last year.
Yeah, that's right. It looks like they've got some experience coming back. The last game I was mentioning to a few of the students the other game, we are a quick team.
Yes.
We are not the tallest team, but we are a quick team, and you could watch that last game when we were doing all the trapping and the press. I thought, wow, we really have some speedy players on our team. And I think that's really going to be one of the best things going for us all year. I mean, the determination, the ability to go after the ball on the floor, and our quickness.
Yeah, this team is very quick. The likes of Grace Simmons, Liv Lease, and Liv Waters both being able to shoot. But the key to the game last week was that low post position played by Brianna Strobel. She really took advantage of I just spaced who we played last week. Southwood.
Right.
She really took advantage of Southwood doing their press and basically left that back door open for Brianna Strobel to have a good night and led the Bruins with 12 points. So hopefully we can see a little bit more of Brianna Strobel tonight doing a little bit more of that post action and getting down low and getting those easy buckets. I also talked to Coach Waters after that game about all of the missed shots that they had, all of the easy baskets that they missed, and he said that was going to be an emphasis yesterday at practice. So we'll see how well he was, but a couple of those missed bunnies, as we call them, seem to be just getting too far underneath the basket and not hanging out on that arc. So hopefully he put some real big emphasis on that, and these girls don't miss a lot of those layups today.
I know. I'm lucky enough to have Kegel in class, and was telling her, if you just took one one little step back from the basket and then bank it off the glass.
Yeah.
I know. I shouldn't do that. But you're right. Some of that, it's early in the season.
Yep.
Everybody's still getting used to things. And, yeah, we had some bunny shots.
Yep.
And then the next time down the floor, I was kidding with her. She really did a nice job down low there and putting some off the backboard the last game. That's great. Obviously, our pep band's here tonight.
Yeah.
And it's always great when we can get everybody involved with the games. But it sounds like I've got a couple of drums in my ear. But that's okay. We'll just keep turning it up.
I was going to say, maybe we could turn the volume down just a little bit. But one player that I know these girls have to be missing this year is J.C. Soames.
Yeah.
She was a real big part of this starting offense last year. Tore her ACL during soccer season this year and is going to miss all of basketball, even though I hear she wants to get out and be ready for sectionals.
Wow. Well, Soames is a great kid all the way around. I'm lucky to have her in class as well. She's she's a good team player.
Yep.
I think she's a great communicator. I've been told she's she's a great person all around. I can testify to that.
Yes.
I haven't really been able. Well, obviously, I've only been at Blackford since February, so I really haven't been able to see her play. But I do know that she has a positive attitude.
Yep.
She has mastered those crutches and the stairs, and there are plenty of them. She's mastered that. And if anybody can come back, I think Soames can do that. She'll be back if she can. I'm sure she's going to put a lot of effort into rehab and the physical therapy that's all tied up into that.
I talked to her a little bit during soccer season after it happened, and when she did find out that, well, it was actually kind of funny. I was asking her like a week after it happened, and I said, "Hey, how's your knee? Are you able to walk on it? Does it feel like Jello?" And she was like, "No." And I said, "Is it tore?" And she goes, "I don't know. I just went for my MRI this morning, and we haven't gotten the results yet." And so I started asking her, how's it feel and stuff like that. And she was like, "Oh, look, I can walk on it just fine." Just started, walking real fine. And I was like, "Yeah, but you seem a little unsteady on that thing." And she goes, "No, the only thing I can't do is pivot one way or the other." And I go, "Well, that's a pretty good sign that it's probably tore. If it's not tore, it might be just a partial, or, it's going to take some kind of rehab." And she goes, "Yeah, I'm hoping to get back in the game."
If any of you are not sure who Soames is, if she's out on the court at center court there, wearing the red top. Obviously, she's with the crutches.
Yep.
Really wanting to be out there with the team. She was very excited tonight for the girls. In fact, I think everyone is ready for sports.
Oh.
Everyone is ready to come back and cheer for the Bruins.
Yes.
Whether, everybody's wanting to get out, do something, support the team. That little bit of downtime between football and basketball. So, yeah, it's actually, I think, like a nice crowd for, as many people as we can come in. Let me ask you a question. How long have you been doing the Blackbird Sports Network?
This would be this basketball season will actually finish up my second full year. I actually started doing baseball for another broadcasting company that has basically the same setup, and he taught me everything, showed me the software, how to work the software, basically gave me a price point for the ads and things of that nature, even though I charged slightly less than he did. But I started it for baseball season after, I don't, maybe it's been 3 years.
Obviously, if you don't know, your son played here for the Bruins. It was basketball and baseball, and I'm probably missing something. I don't know if we did anything.
Nope, just basketball, baseball.
And your daughter played basketball for us for what, 3 years?
She was the 3-sport athlete. Yep, she played. She started off her freshman year. She had to have a surgery on her elbow, but she wanted to play volleyball. She's actually a really good volleyball player, or was. Her freshman year it was volleyball, basketball, and softball. And then her sophomore year, she made a change and went to soccer, basketball, and softball. And then last year did the same thing. And then this year decided not to play basketball, but she is still going to finish soccer, and then now going to look forward to softball, which softball is the sport that she's the best at.
So basically, you've been coming to a lot of games.
Oh, yeah.
Many times your kids aren't even playing. You're doing it for the love of sports and a big supporter of Blackford Junior Senior High School. And there is some really cool equipment here. It's amazing. There's probably not 20 pounds worth of equipment, but what it can do, it is fascinating. And it's a nice setup. And with 2 cameras, you really get to see a lot of things that's going on here. And there's a mixer board. And, we're lucky to have you doing this. You've been very, very dedicated. I remember coming to when I first came, and they go, well, if you don't come to our games, well, you can catch it on YouTube. I said, oh really? What is this, a radio station or something? No, it was fabulous. And I remember thinking, wow, this is really cool to get doing that. And part of the reason why you and I have hooked up is that I teach one of the speech classes here at school, and ultimately we want our students to be involved doing this at the junior varsity level and junior high games. That's the idea, is to get people moving into this, because as I think you worked in broadcasting when you were in high school, right?
For one semester, yes.
And I worked for a radio station in my hometown, Shelbyville, and it's just a wonderful experience for people to have,
It is.
And if you're going to do something like speech, you're going to practice. So this is the way to do it.
This is the way to do it, because you're basically talking to yourself. There's really nobody out there. It's just you and me talking together.
Right.
But the biggest obstacle that you have to doing something like this, especially for me, is not only do I run this camera, but I also keep the score on the scoreboard. I ran everything with the computers and make sure everybody's volumes are where they need to be and everybody can hear everything, setting it all up. But then it's trying to paint that picture of what's going on the court, because, obviously we don't have high-definition cameras. The Wi-Fi is not high-definition around here. So, we still have to paint that picture as if we're doing radio. Mm-hmm. And that sometimes gets a little difficult, because it almost seems like you're saying the exact same things over and over and over again. So you got to try to find new ways of saying the same thing, so that people at home don't get bored.
Well, and, Steve, we've talked about this a couple of times. Last year, we've turned into some ball games. There'd be close to 1,000 people.
Yeah.
I would watch that number bounce up and down. You have people in the, the crawl, the
chat.
The chat.
Yep.
People all over the country.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's for one, it's just the community was so lucky to have this, people don't want to go out at times like this, especially the elderly. It makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
People that are sick, and, people with relatives, grandparents far away. This is a great way that they get to see their family.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's getting here to be the excitement. It's even better than radio in the respect to get to see that. And we're getting ready here, it looks like, aren't we, for the school song?
Yeah. We don't have to stand up for that one.
Okay.
We're not worried about it yet, but I'm sure the national anthem's coming up. But when it does, we will just, I think I'm turning down the wrong thing. Yeah, I am. Here we go. When the national anthem comes on, we'll go to a quick commercial break, and which we do have tonight.
Right.
We only had one Wednesday night, but we have all of them tonight. At least I hope I haven't forgotten anybody.
And I'd like to say everybody here is doing exactly what we were told to do, coming in, wearing the mask, wearing them appropriately. You'll see the players that are not playing in the game. They're wearing their masks.
Yep.
The coaching staff, the scorers table. That's the thing. we're doing this the right way. We're doing it in concert with what the school system is saying. We want you to do this. And both the home team, of course, and the visitors are following that.
Yeah.
And, you know, we have to kind of do that if we want to keep playing sports.
That's true.
Every weekend.
That's true, and I hope people don't get discouraged by not being able to come to the games and watch them live, because I know that's a big part of who we are as Blackford fan base, is we like to get out here, we like to get in the stands, we like to give those officials a hard time, we like to give our team the big cheers when they do something cool, when Luke drains one of them volleyball line threes, and Cody gets excited about it, and Grant just stays quiet all the time. But me and Cody, we get excited about it, and you know, those are the things that make high school basketball fun. And you know, I'll never forget, I didn't grow up in Blackford, and I've told everybody this 100 times. I grew up in Marion during the Purple Rain.
Oh yeah, the 80s.
Yeah, in the 80s. My aunt actually graduated in 1987, so she was in the school with all of those guys, and you know, that was something that I woke up every morning to Prince's Purple Rain playing on the radio at 7 a.m. because that's how we woke up in Marion.
I think we're dating ourselves. And actually, one of those teams played Shelbyville High School in the Final Four in 1986.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Giants beat Shelbyville. Yeah, it was in the Final Four of that year. So, yeah, you grew up with a great town for basketball.
Yes, and I actually Bill Green retired shortly after that in like 1989, 1990. Went to University of Indianapolis to play, but then he came back my senior year, and that was the only time I tried out for basketball and almost made the team. But with that, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Hello, Blackford sports fans. This is head girls coach Mitch Waters. Thank you for tuning into the Blackford Sports Network and supporting your Blackford Bruins. When I'm not coaching, scouting, and watching basketball, I love scouring the internet for real estate opportunities, whether it be residential, land, or commercial. I look at them on a daily basis for all of my clients and prospective clients. As a proud coach, sponsor, and community member of Blackford County, I have a great sense of our market and what we have to offer. If you're considering buying, selling, or building, ask me how I can help you maximize your investment. Last but certainly not least, go Bruins.
Dad, I wrecked the car.
If you've ever received a phone call like the one I did a few months ago, do what I did and stop in and see Dave Montgomery at Dave's Car Corner. Located at 1225 North Walnut in Hartford City, Dave has a nice selection of used cars to choose from. Stop in and see him or give him a call at 765-348-5770. Let him know very good job by the band, and something that I've noticed since Mr. Holden's been here is the band has probably increased by a good 20 members just since he's been here, and I think this is only his second year.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
So
I wish I could tell you for sure since I've only been here since February. But they're announcing the starting lineups right now. Daleville coming out. And if you haven't been here to Blackford High School this year, watch a game, the scorer's bench, I guess that would be the north side, right? The north side of the gym.
Yes,
facing
yeah, the north side.
Just where the players are. And now,
starting tonight,
our
number 2, Olivia Leach.
Probably going to have the same starting lineup we did on Wednesday. I don't see Coach Waters making much of a change. But it's going to be Livy Lease, Liv Waters, Brianna Strobel, Grace Simmons, and should be Macy Cagle.
Number 20, Grace Simmons.
There's Grace. Grace the only starting senior on the basketball team this year.
Tonight's official, Kevin Chesney, Greg Reese, Greg
And it should be Liv Waters with the tip-off, getting the tip.
And you're right. She's up there, Waters, jumping center tonight.
And the Daleville Broncos get the tip. And I'm trying to find the game on YouTube to see if we have anybody. We have 34 people on here. That's not too bad.
Not at all.
Band does sound great, Mr. Clam. And the shot, it's a 2, no good. Lise with the rebound. And Lisa's going to rush it down the court. She's got Simmons open. Nope, hits it over to Waters. Waters looking. She's going to take it back to the top of the key. Squares up to the basket. Giving some directions to Grace Simmons. Simmons now with the ball on the far side. She's giving some directions to Strobel. Strobel now down to Waters. Waters looked like she wanted to take it into the paint. She does. A little bit of contact, but not enough to draw the foul. And the Broncos with the rebound. And, man, the Bruins all over them trying to get that ball back. And now they've got the trap. She must have been on the line. So Lise with the steal, but had a foot on the line.
Lise was going after the bread there.
Yes, she was. The Bruins trying a little bit of that full court press. Oh, and Simmons is going to pick one up there. That's not a bad foul to pick up, but you don't want to get it this early in the game. With just a little over a minute gone. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to get everything. I had it all squared up. Somebody must have bumped my tripod. The shot up, no good. Rebound to the Bruins.
Almost like Grace getting ankle tackled there for a bit. She's tough. Simmons is she's one of my students as well. Great kid. Great student.
So you talk about these girls like JC and Grace.
Mm-hmm.
I pretty much consider a lot of these senior girls and those senior boys from last year as family, because we've grown up with them. Or my kids grew up with them all. So that's the fun thing about having a family and growing up in a small community is everybody knows everybody and everybody grows up with everybody. So
it's not uncommon for the students to talk in class saying something like, "Well, I went to preschool."
Yes.
With this person. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so they've known each other for years and years.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Alexa and JC went to preschool together. So, there they go. Daleville finds the back door on the Bruins full court press. Now Lisa's going to bring the ball up the court. She has Liv into the paint. Gives it over to Simmons for travel. There's those nerves and those jitters still coming out in the girls. And they're still going to play that full court press. They get the ball in. Oh, and Liv did get the steal. Waters picks it up down to Lise on the paint for 2. And the Bruins still picking up on that full court press. Oh, and got the back door on Cagle there for 2. Cagle just jumped that one. She should have just stayed back a little bit and let that one come to her. Waited for some help. I thought Daleville might have thrown that one away. This has really started out as a good game tonight.
I'll tell you what, we've had a lot of the girls already, especially Simmons, have been diving on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
Been doing a lot of belly right there, playing tough. A few elbows thrown in there underneath the first couple of seconds there.
And both teams with 2 fouls now.
That's right.
Daleville, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I was just going to say 5:40 left to go in the first.
Daleville with the ball, drives in. Nope, that one's going to go out of bounds. Blackford way now. Simmons now going to bring the ball up the court. So that's the third different Bruin that's brought the ball down the court, which is a good idea if you ask me. And we've got a jump ball, and that should go Blackford's way. Heather Putler. P-A-U-T-L-E-R. Potler. Lease takes a dribble, shoots the three. That one's no good. Rebound goes to Daleville. They get the ball all the way down the court, high off the glass for two. Now Lease going to bring the ball. Gets it over to Strobel. Strobel for three, a little off the mark. Rebound to Daleville. Bruins need to slow down. Oh, a nice job by Lease getting the block. She's going to take it all the way. Gets tripped. It is a blocking foul. I didn't see. Was that on number 23, Potler again?
Foul number
13.
Okay.
Malia Walker.
I think, yeah, you're right. We've got three people, probably four, really can bring the ball down the court. It's nice when you have to substitute people in that you're not just bound to one guard capable of doing that.
I gave her a three on that one, so we got to take a point off. Nice job, nice defense by Macy Cagle. I was also talking to Coach Waters about, a nice job taking it straight to the basket. There's a point of emphasis this year on charging calls.
It's two on Grace.
Yep, she's going to come out of the game, and it looks like another Grace. Gracie Lamont is going to come in for Grace Simmons.
Foul by number 20, Simmons, her second.
Grace has always been that player that she'll throw it all out on the line, sacrificing her body to get the plays in and to do what she has to do. She's always been like that since grade school.
I would only do that if I were going to the refrigerator.
You and me both. But she was a lot of fun to watch as a kid. You know, they kind of let you get away with a lot more down in those lower levels. But since then, she's not been able to get away with them as much. Daleville with the rebound. It looks like they're what we used to call cherry picking, which is fine. Waters now dribbling. She gets it down to Lease. Lease is going to get fouled.
That was a great pass, Steve.
That was.
Yeah, great pass.
That's something that I've been saying for since I've been doing this is players have to start looking up and looking at those players that they've got down the field, because 9 times out of 10 they're wide open, and Lease was on that one. And she gets fouled. Goes to the line, shoots her first of 2, and hits it. Uh-oh. I must be off a point somewhere. Nope, there it is. Just took the scoreboard longer to put it up. Lease for her second, and she did it again. She did it on Wednesday, too. She jumped over the line before the basket, or before the ball hit the bucket. So that is no good. And here they are, getting the ball down the court. Cagle there playing good defense. And a nice steal by Liv. She's going to take this one all the way off the glass for 2. Bruins pick up their first lead of the game here with 3 minutes left in the first. It looks like maybe some frustration on the Broncos' part, as that three-pointer misses everything but the floor. Looks like Waters is going to start slowing it down here now that the Bruins have a little bit of a lead. The Bruins setting up. 2 down on the blocks. 2 out high. And Waters out at the key. Lease with the ball back out to the top. Stops over to Strobel. Strobel tries to get it into Cagle, but it's picked off. Broncos, travel. Broncos seem to be falling apart here, and it looks like the coach is going to make a little bit of a change. Maybe get some fresh legs in there. I think at the end of tonight's game, I'm assuming if they win, Coach Waters is going to come up here for an interview just to talk about the girls and where he sees them in the future, and maybe talk about some future games that they've got coming up. The Bruins really like this full court press. Oh, another three. And Coach Waters is going to call that first time out. With 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter, and we'll be right back after this.
Do you have aches and pains like Alexa? Call Clear Choice Chiropractic to set up an appointment. They have chiropractic care, laser, decompression, and massage therapies to get you feeling your best. Call them today at 765-348-5044 or visit their office at 1501 North Walnut Street in Hartford City. Blackford United Way is a not-for-profit corporation serving Blackford County that is asking for your help. Knowing the impact of a merger could impact the financial support that we have provided to local agencies for several years. The Board of Directors is asking for your support now more than ever. Please consider donating to Blackford United Way so we are able to make decisions locally and support local agencies that provide essential services to those less fortunate in Blackford County.
I'll tell you more later. All right, we are back. Let me know if you guys like those commercials and the way they're done this year. If you don't like them, I'll recut them and do something a little bit different with them. But I kind of wanted to change it up and have a little fun with it. Uh-oh, they are going to steal that one. Cagle gets the steal, gives it over to Lease to Strobel. Oh, she travels. A nice job, just took one too many steps. The inbound, that's going to go straight out of bounds. Blackford ball on the side over by the scorer's bench.
We do play the press pretty well.
Yes, we do.
And we played that quite a bit the last game against Southwood, correct?
Yes.
Yes. That's what I
yep.
thought.
Although Southwood kind of turned it around on us, and they were pressing just as good as we were. And they started coming back. Cagle with the ball, gets it into the paint, kicks it back out to Lease. Lease fakes, drives in. It rolls around the rim and out. Daleville ball. Uh-oh, maybe. Daleville drives into the block. Oh, and Gracie Lamont is on a break. Only her and another. Good.
Coast to coast. There it was.
There it is. I actually used to work with her dad. Another steal. That was Lamont Strobel, and it is a blocking foul. I used to work with Lamont's dad, so I remember when she was born. Small towns.
Yeah.
Small towns. So how big is Shelbyville?
16,000. And if you don't know where Shelbyville is, Shelby County is southeast of Indianapolis.
So, do you know who Todd McComas is?
No, I can't say I do.
Todd McComas is he's a retired state trooper.
Okay.
But he's also a comedian that helped Pat McAfee get his studio and broadcast up and running.
Okay.
He's from Shelbyville. He's either from Shelbyville, or that was where he worked when he was a state police trooper. He does podcasts now, and I'm a big fan of some of his podcasts. being a former officer myself, I enjoy listening to that kind of stuff. And plus, he's a comedian, so he kind of makes it funny.
Well, you know, people might say that they get a little bit of that from you on here, you know, with the great comedy. And I'll tell you, there were some great lines the other night with you and your daughter.
Oh, me and Alexa, we really like to have some fun together when it comes to that stuff. The fake at the free throw line, and that one is good. It's a back-and-forth game here at Blackford. Oh, Gracie not ready for that one, and should be another blocking foul. A lot of blocking fouls tonight.
It's been fast, quick pace this first quarter. Lots of people on the floor, lots of loose balls. We've been doing pretty well on the press.
Yeah, we
this
have.
point.
And the first period's not even quite over yet. 2.9 seconds. The Bruins with a 1-point lead make it 2. No, we're down by 1. Now it's a tie ball game. So Lamont has the opportunity to give the Bruins a 1-point lead going into the second quarter with this free throw, and she does. Oh, they go ahead and throw the Hail Mary. The last second shot, no good. All right, that's going to do it for the first quarter. And we're on our way to the second quarter. The Bruins with a 1-point lead over the Daleville Broncos. Now, last year I know I constantly played ads, and everybody kind of got tired of them, especially by the end of the season. So we're not going to do that tonight. We're going to talk about the first quarter or something else. It doesn't matter. While we wait. So nobody's going to get burnt out on us playing ads all night long. I see we have 60 viewers tonight, which is really good for a girls' game. But we need to get those viewers up. Let's see 100.
Absolutely.
At least before the boys start playing. So if you know somebody that just likes to watch basketball, let them know about the broadcast. But don't forget, coming up here pretty soon, probably next week sometime, we're going to transition into being an IHSAA TV affiliate. So if you want to watch the games, you can go to IHSAATV.org, I think is what it is. I'll know more later. I just had a conversation with Keith Shanahan, who I believe is one of the IHSAA TV broadcasters. Really nice guy. And we had probably an hour-long conversation today while I was at work. And basically found out quite a bit of things, and actually kind of excited to do this pay-per-view now. The 3 by Strobel's no good, but Simmons with the rebound. Gets it out to Strobel again. She gets it down to Waters. Waters back to Simmons. That pass was not good, down by the feet of Simmons. Back out to Strobel for 3. Good. Strobel on the board with 4. Lease with 7 in this game. They kick it out to the far edge. The little jumper's no good. Back to the Broncos. Now they're going to move the ball around the edge. Nope, going to drive it into the paint. Kick it out to the 3. That one's way long. A little high, too. Again, rebound by the Broncos. Offensive boards by the Broncos, giving them those second, third, and fourth chances. Lease kicks it over to Simmons. Simmons for the 3. Well off the mark. But Cagle there for the rebound. She tries to take it up and gets blocked. Is that number 39? 33? 30? 30. Audrey Voss, the junior for the Broncos. And the Broncos now moving the ball around the outside edge. But there's Lease. She gets in there and gets the jump ball call. Possession arrow in favor of the Broncos.
On the floor right now for the Bruins, we have Lease, Simmons, Cagle, Strobel, and Waters.
So that is still the starting 5. Ball stays Broncos way. From Philly. Is that Doug Smith? as in the Doug Smith. Ooh, that is going to be a foul on Lise, her second. Have you ever been to Philly, Dr. Nolly?
I have.
You have?
Yeah.
You
Nice.
like their cheesesteaks?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I love their cheesesteaks.
I don't know if I'd like to be there right now with all the stuff that's going on politically, but, yeah, been there. It's
I
fun.
actually used to hang out in Philly when I was in the military. Every weekend we'd go to Philly. Or some rural community outside of Philly. Do you know, did you stay there for a while, or was it?
I think it was for a conference and
okay.
was doing some sightseeing. Yeah, it was a nice time of the year. It was good.
Time out for the Broncos. So like I said, I did you ever go across the Betsy Ross Bridge?
Yes, I did
That's
that.
really fascinating, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a bridge out there. It's the I-95 bridge. And, of course, I was stationed in Washington, D.C., so we took I-95 up there. And one day we got stuck on that bridge, the I-95 bridge, and in traffic. And while we were on that bridge, I thought I was going to have a panic attack because you could feel the bridge swaying in the wind. And it was one of the most uncomfortable feelings I've ever had in my life.
Probably the physics that I don't understand. I'm sure that's done the way for, a little sway in the building.
Oh,
a
yeah.
little sway in the bridge.
I'm sure it is. I knew people that that worked out of the World Trade Center before 9/11 happened, and they said that the World Trade Center shifted like a lot the higher you got, which would have I probably would have gotten sick or something, because I don't do well with motion like that. But I did. I used to have fun in Philly. I loved going to Philly, and when my wife and I got married, I took her to the Poconos for our honeymoon, and I took her through Philly. There's two for Cagle, but I took her through Philly, and she was not as impressed with Philly as I was.
Well, maybe you didn't show her the same sights that excited you.
I didn't. I showed her the worst that Philly had to offer, and I regret every minute of it because she refuses to go back now.
Well, we have a nice crowd tonight. Here we're limited, of course, to the number of people we can actually sell tickets to, and still it's a nice number of people here at Blackbird High School.
Yeah, the max for a girls' game is 300. The boys are allowed 500. Now, there is a very good reason for that, and somebody asked during the last broadcast, so I found out the answer. And just so you know, if you catch across the way, the screen is up for the upstairs north end of the upstairs. It's screened off. There's no fans up there right now. The reason for that is because the school has to use that upstairs for cafeteria overflow due to social distancing and all of that. So to keep the janitorial staff from having to pick all those tables up just about every night during the season, they're only going to do it for boys' games.
Okay.
So that's why there's a discrepancy in how many you can have for boys and how many you can have for girls. So is it unfair? Maybe. But, I mean, if you think about it, the girls aren't packing the house yet. So this year is not necessarily going to affect a lot of people. And as one parent said to me earlier this evening, it's going to be kind of nice to go back to the way it was where we could sit and stretch our legs.
Well, my first couple of games here back in February, very crowded. You don't realize how big a place is until you have almost every seat sold.
That's right. That's right. And I've said that didn't look good at all. I said it, many a times before growing up in Marion. I went to some Marion Giants games during those three-peats, the three-peat state champions. And I remember sitting, you had a ticket, and on that ticket had an actual seat number that you had to find. And it wasn't just first come, first serve, you sit wherever you sit. No, you had to sit in that specified seat. And I remember going there and didn't know what was going on. And I had to have an usher help me to my seat. Uh-oh, that one's stripped away from Cagle, and she's going to take this one all the way. Oh, and there's Waters. But she does pick up the foul, her first of the game.
Foul line for number 3, Waters.
That's going to send Gwen, oh my goodness, Schmeidel?
Let me take a look here. Schmiedel. We'll just say that's just what that's unfair.
Yeah, that's what Dave Robertson said here at the arena. So her free throw is good.
Of course, we want to shout out to our athletic director, Tony Ugan. Saw Mr. Ugan the other day during a nice fire drill.
Oh, you got to love fire drills.
Yes. Guess we need one for each month. There we go.
Strobel for 3, nope. But rebound goes to Water. Lee, sorry. And she does put it back in.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah. Off balance. A good shove from behind.
3 minutes to go in the second. And Blackford with a nice lead, 7 points. They're going to get Waters with that one. Just a little bit too aggressive. No, they got number 11. No, 1-1. 1-1. So both teams in bonus now. So Lease with 11 points and Strobel with 5. First shot of 2. First shot is good. Now for the bonus. And that's who's 35. That must be McKenna Huddleston. And it is Blackford ball. Oh.
If you're just joining us, we got 2:56 left in the first half. In the JV contest, the Bruins pretty much handled the Broncos 92-10. Good game.
That's yeah. That's the kind of games that you want out of your JV team, but you also want at least some competition for them. Liv gets it in. And when you have a game like that, basically the only thing you're getting is just playing time. Oh, Cagle throws that one away. Huddleston on the break, out of bounds. .237 to go in the half, and it seems like the last few minutes of this game are taking the longest. Lease with the ball. Gets it over to Simmons. Simmons back to Lease. She gets it over to Strobel. Strobel looks down low. Gives it to Cagle to Simmons off the glass. It just rolls off the edge of the rim. Simmons needs to slow down. There you go. Good job. And a 3. Oh. And just like that, the Broncos have caught up just a little bit.
A couple times tonight.
Oh,
ooh, nice off the glass. Blackbird having a few problems with spacing on the floor.
Yes.
If you're going to do something, one of the very basic things, you're always trying to worry about your spacing. A couple times we've been kind of clustered up there, down in the paint.
Yeah, on that last offensive play, looked like Cagle and Waters got tangled up
Our girls are quick. They handle the ball well.
Huckstetter at the line.
It's always to
3
our
shots.
advantage to spread these things out, reverse the ball around.
Absolutely. First shot is no good. 1:46 to play in the half, and both teams in bonus. A lot of fouls going on here in the first half of this game, and 3 Bruins starters in what I would call foul trouble. Lease, Waters, and Simmons all with 2. If they can keep it just at 2, they'll be all right going into the second half. Waters kicks it out to Strobel. No good for the 3. Lease tries to get the rebound, but just a little bit out of reach.
Coming back in for Daleville, number 2, Jimmy Hudson.
I see our assistant principal over there tonight.
Who's
There's
that?
Mrs. Mealy. Karen Mealy's over there.
Okay.
She's got a camera with her.
Uh-oh, we're all in trouble.
That's right.
Waters, good for 2. And just like, Strobel reaching in, picks up her second foul. So 4 of the 5 starters, each with 2 fouls.
Second, team's 9.
Well, I'll tell you what, Steve, I don't know if you're going to do anything this weekend, but here's a thought. If you like putting up your Christmas lights, you might as well do it this weekend before the weather gets bad. I mean, way ahead of, doesn't mean you have to turn them on, but at least you're not out there at Thanksgiving or the day after when it's 27 and there's ice pellets on your gutters.
See, that is me. I would be that guy. We don't buy the Christmas tree until the day after Thanksgiving. So we don't put lights up until Thanksgiving. Although my grandmother already has the tree up and has had for about a month now.
Okay. That's like going into a Lowe's. When did
Yeah.
your Christmas season start? Oh, Labor Day.
Yep. So we actually had family come in from California, and that was part of the reason. Gave her 2 for that one.
For Olivia Lease.
That was why they did it. I have an aunt who is mentally handicapped. All right, who's picking up that foul? Coach Waters with his hands behind his head, and that one's going against Strobel, her 3rd. And that's exactly what we were just talking about. You didn't want to get that 3rd foul before the half. But she wanted to have the tree up while our family was in from California, so my grandmother went ahead and put it up. And I think that is
Faith Gephardt.
Gephardt.
Mhm.
Yes.
Faith Gephardt.
She played soccer this year, and, man, she was a lot of fun to watch. And now Waters going to bring the ball up the court. Strobel is going to have a seat until the 3rd after picking up that 3rd foul. And now Waters brings it over, gets it to Cagle in the top of the paint. She drives down, but hands it off to Waters for 3. And that gives the Bruins their largest lead of the game at 10. Getting ready to go into the half as the Broncos have the ball, and they throw that one. Oh, it must have been tipped. And I'm guessing that one's going against Gephardt. Blocking foul.
0-0, Gephardt for first.
Huh.
Number 30.
And now
2 shots.
Daleville in double bonus. They get 2 shots no matter what now, anytime they get fouled. First shot is up and good. The second, same. Now Daleville's going to bring in a sub.
Number 35, Lyra Kendall.
18 seconds left in the half, as the Bruins with an 8-point lead over the Broncos. Oh, I forgot to plug in my laptop. It's getting ready to die.
There we go.
There we go. Waters tries to get it down into the paint. And I don't think that one was going to be good. And let me get my Let's get some power to this laptop. There we go.
While you're working with that, just like to remind everybody, the superintendent of Blackford County Schools is Mr. Chad Yentzer. The principal of Blackford Junior and Senior High School is Mr. Scott Scheimer. The athletic director is Mr. Tony Ugan. The varsity coach for the Lady Bruins is Mitch Waters. And you are in tune with the voice of Blackford Sports Network, Steve Hurd.
Dad, I wrecked the car.
If you've ever received a phone call like the one I did a few months ago, do what I did and stop in and see Dave Montgomery at Dave's Car Corner. Located at 1225 North Walnut in Hartford City, Dave has a nice selection of used cars to choose from. Stop in and see him or give him a call at 765-348-5770. Let him know.
All right, we are back. A good start to the first half. I don't think Mrs. Mealy is watching.
She's just saying, what's Gilligan doing up there? She's not. All right, I just keep waving for that,
Yeah,
No, that's okay.
I think she's in Spaceland. Here, I wonder if we send her a text message. All right, start waving again.
This is real. This is like cinema verite.
There it is.
Come on over. We want to do an interview. Look at that. Now she's like, I got to
get out of here.
Here we go. Yeah.
Karen is a longtime friend.
Well, I'm fortunate enough to work with her son, for the brief time. I started in February 3rd, and, we're not there 6 weeks,
Yep.
and then we're out. It was a very interesting start. You're learning a new job. You're learning kids' names, right? Your son just was one of that in that class, and then all these people come, and then you have to go to an online environment.
Yeah.
It's tough for the kids, but can you imagine being a new teacher and having been out of high school teaching for 20, not too many years, but everybody was like that. So let's talk to Karen for a moment and see what she's saying. So we're lucky to have with us tonight here during halftime our assistant principal, Karen Mealy. We're going to do this interview. First off, we want to say I think everybody's doing a great job tonight following the guidelines for safety and wearing our masks, and that's so important for us to do. Yeah, we're really doing this live, Karen, so don't say anything you don't want to.
I believe that all the individuals in the gym are really working hard. There's a couple that need to keep their masks up a little bit more, but for the most part, they're trying hard and they're following the guidelines to help us keep fans at our games.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the people, both teams, the home team and the folks from Daleville, have been very, I think, cooperative like that. Also, tonight, we're lucky to get to do this still, to have people come and watch. And Steve and I were talking earlier, if we want to come and watch live sports, we got to follow the rules.
Absolutely, and it's not that, we want to be sticklers with regards to, the mask police kind of thing, but, we got to follow what our health department says and make sure that our students are safe, the people are safe that we're coming in or bringing into our gym, and that everyone stays healthy. So we don't want anybody to come down with this COVID and get really sick like, Coach Ugan has, and we just want everybody to be safe, and we got to do the things we got to do to make that happen.
So, Karen, how's the school year been going? I know we have some students that are what we call full-time virtual, and that we have students all the way from 7th grade to 12th grade doing that. How's that been going so far?
I believe the students are working hard, whether they're in person or virtual. Many are on virtual due to their own health concerns or their family health concerns or other reasons, unbeknownst to me. But I think for the most part, our students are doing very well. We want to keep them in person as much as possible because we know that's how, we can support them socially, emotionally, and academically. So we want to keep everyone in school. we want to really work hard, follow all of the regulations that are set forth, and I really have to say that our kids and our staff is doing an awesome job. I cannot complain at all about them. The students follow the mask order when moving. They social distance within the classroom, and they don't give us any pushback whatsoever. So kudos to our kids. They're rocking it, and I really am blessed to be here with the kids that we have.
One thing that is interesting, the students, they really want to be here. They don't want to go out for a week at a time. They get bored.
Yeah.
I think they miss the contact, and they'll tell you they want to stay in school. So everybody's really doing the best they can.
Well, I think that one time when we had that short, like 2 or 3 week time span when we, had quite a few cases going through, I think we had 6 or 7 cases within the school. And we did have to shut down to clean and to get everyone healthy again and stop the spread. But I'll tell you what, when we got back into classes the next, couple weeks and administration would walk into a classroom, they're like, oh no, they don't ever want to see us in the classroom. And not that we want to send kids out on quarantine, but they don't want to go. So the ones that are here, they want to be here, and they're doing it right, and they're working hard.
So we got to ask, being the mother of some of the great great high school athletes, your son's playing baseball at Northern Illinois. What's the atmosphere been like as far as quarantining and practicing for your son Caleb, who was one of our outstanding catchers here at Blackford?
I would have to say that he truly is not getting a freshman experience in college. At that level of play, they're really working hard to keep them social distance from anyone else. He really doesn't associate with anyone on campus except for the baseball team. He hasn't been able to leave campus until here recently for another reason why he was able to come home. But he hasn't left campus. He does his quarantine when when they're told to. They do random testing quite frequently on them for the COVID. And he gets his meals to go and eats them in his dorm room. So, and all of his classes are all online. So he's never met a professor yet in person. So it's not a true experience. But you know what? The boy, he loves to play baseball, and he truly wants to play college ball at that level. And he's going to do what's expected. So their fall season went well. They did intramural activities each weekend and played some games. Like I said, intramural with themselves and against each other squads, because they do have 40 players on the team, so they can do that. But we're hoping that come January they can get their season kicked off, and they should start games, I think the middle of February they start traveling. So it's coming fast.
We've been talking with the assistant principal of Blackford Junior Senior High School, Karen Mealy. Thank you for coming over. Steve, I'll tell you what. When I take these headphones off, I really can't hear anything because, as they would say, more cowbell. Whoever is playing cowbell, you're doing one heck of a job. What is the deal? The Christopher Walken thing where he says, I have a thirst for cowbell. Well, somebody's doing quite the job over there. Again, want to thank Mrs. Mealy for taking the time out. And Steve, we do have a heck of a cowbell player over there. So that's why I was mentioning the whole Saturday Night Live thing.
I love Saturday Night Live. Need more cowbell.
That's right. A thirst for cowbell.
Yeah. Man, what a week. What a week it has been. It's crazy what's going on. You think that some of the protests and things like that are going on you think, oh, this is the worst that we could get. And then you have this crazy election cycle that we've got. We still don't know who our president is. We're still trying to deal with COVID. But yet we get to sit here and watch some good high school basketball where our Lady Bruins are leading 8 points over a team that I'm pretty sure beat them last year pretty good. So, what a night and what a week it's been. Basketball season is here. It's 70 degrees outside.
Absolutely.
First part of November. You got to be excited about this.
I'll tell you, it was a nice day today. I somehow got talked into taking the class outside to do some reading. And you know who that happened to be? It was your daughter that said, she said, Dr. Nolly, why can't we go outside? And, probably so. It was a good time to do that.
That child has always been, we've always called her, she was always going to be our problem child. And when I say problem child, I don't mean in a bad way. She was going to be the child that tested everything that you told her not to do. She was going to do it just to see. So, she's been a lot of fun, and I'm glad that I get to call her my daughter.
And by and large, it was, you're right, it was a beautiful day today. There was no wind, and we were out probably 35, 40 minutes. I was glad to do that because, as I told them, you may go for the next 2 months in Indiana and not see the sun. So
exactly.
Take advantage of it.
You got to take advantage of it every chance that you get, and boy, we took advantage. Oh, we definitely took advantage of it. The fans wanting the travel call on that one. Out of bounds, Blackford ball. But yeah, it was beautiful. I get the pleasure of working outside all day, every day. I drive a truck, deliver fuel for a living. And I got to tell you, the warm days like we are having are a godsend. I love them and hope that we have plenty more of them. Strobel, gets her own rebound, put back for 2.
It was also neat this week to see some of our students. It was their first time voting.
Yes.
They just turned 18. They were going to the polls. It was, exciting, their first time to do that. And I remember they let people out of school to go vote. Now, that wasn't the case with us, but they were going to vote nonetheless.
Yep.
Exciting.
You're absolutely right. I know Alexa, that's all she's been talking about for the last probably month and a half, 2 months, was the fact that she gets to vote for the first time. She was excited to get to vote. I try not to tell, I have my own views, and I try not to project them onto my kids because they're their own people. But I did try to teach them, hey, this is where you find things. This is how you know who's going to be on the ballot. And it was just a lot of fun to get to show my kids, both of them. Peyton turned 18 last year, and there was an election. He wanted to get into the primaries, but he didn't make it to vote, and it upset him. But he drove from Manchester all the way back to Hartford City just to be able to vote in his first election process. He came home from college and had that opportunity, and when he finished, he called me and he said, Dad, I just finished voting. And I said, well, how did it make you feel? And he goes, good. So, in and out.
Sometimes they also forget they're voting for things locally, too, like school boards, so things that affect them directly.
Yes. And that's what I try to tell people. A lot of people have called me and asked me, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And I always try to tell them, hey, be more concerned about what's right here in front of your face than what's 1,500 miles away or 700 miles away. Be more concerned with who's on your school board, who's on your city council, your county council, your treasurers, your mayors, and things of that nature. They get the and one. Nope.
Cagle's second foul.
So all of the starters now with at least 2 fouls on them. Strobel, the only one with 3. Simmons with the rebound. She gets it over to Waters. Waters is going to take it. Nope, she hands it off to Lease. Gets tipped as she's trying to shoot it. And a fight for the ball.
Oh.
They're giving it to Blackford.
Great hustle. Great hustle there.
Yes, absolutely. The ball was definitely going to go out of bounds, and Waters, who looks to be holding her back a little bit.
Right, yeah.
That's never a good sign, but she seems to be all right. She gets the ball down to Simmons. Simmons was looking for Cagle in the paint, but goes ahead and puts it out to Lease. Back to Simmons. Simmons does get it down to Cagle, but she's fallen out of bounds. Has to throw it back to the top of the key, and that one's going to go through her fingertips. and land in Bronco territory. The three is good, and that is about her fourth one for the day. The Bruins still holding on to a 9-point lead over the Broncos. It's 5:25 left in the third. Not sure why Waters was on the floor, but she gets up off the glass. No good. That one is going to be white ball. And with that, my camera positioning has fallen out of sync. This is a regular nightly occurrence here, because you can never keep that thing still, especially during the boys' games with those full bleachers. You know, they're bumping and hitting and everything else.
That's the third foul on Lease.
Is it really?
Yeah.
All right. Broncos with the ball. Drives it in. Easy bucket. Just when the Bruins think that they're starting to pull away, the Broncos fight their way back to being a close game.
You can see our spacing's better during this time down the floor. The last two times I thought the spacing has been better. They're able to sag in the middle and get a better spread here of the floor. And the shot.
Strobel with three.
Patience.
That was a good-looking shot.
It was.
Taken wide open, nobody around her. Strobel with the rebound. Cagle to Lease. Lease is going to drive this one all the way to the bucket. And she picks up the charge. That's going to be foul number 4. And Coach Waters is going to have to pull her out of this game.
Who are our sponsors tonight?
Well, that's a good question.
Was that a setup? Should I have not asked that? I said, who?
You caught me off guard.
I didn't mean to do. You know, I thought.
You're fine. just a random question out of the blue, and just caught me off. No, our sponsors tonight, we have 4 of them. We've got the Blackford County United Way, and all they're asking for is for the community to step up and help them out. You know, with COVID, they haven't been able to do their normal fundraiser. I think it's the one with the needle they put out at City Hall, and they ask for money and donations. They don't ask for much. You know, whatever you can give. And, you know, all of that money basically stays right here within the community. But with COVID, a lot of the smaller United Ways, like Blackford's, have been having to merge with some of the larger ones, like in a Delaware County or a Muncie or a Marion. And when they do that, not as much money comes to those smaller communities. It stays in the larger ones. So our Blackford County United Way is basically just asking for some help. You know, they do give a lot of money back to the community. And, you know, with like the 4-H and Boys and Cub Scouts, as well as several others. But if you can donate any money, please do so. Clear Choice Chiropractic is another one. I've had to use them several times over the past few years just to feel right. Oh, a 3 by Lamont.
You know, you're doing that pretty good on the fly. You're adjusting the camera and telling us about the sponsors. We do appreciate their support in bringing us Blackford Lady Bruin basketball.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right, so the Bruins with I added a point too many there. The Bruins with a 10-point lead. The Broncos with the ball. We're going to be fighting for it. Maybe a jump ball. Nope. We do have a jump ball. That should be Broncos.
He had 43 points from the last game total against Southwood, if you recall. I think it was 43-30. So we've already matched our output for this game with 2:45 left in the third quarter.
So Lamont. Waters steps out for the three, just a little bit short. Oh, they're going to try and take it long. Waters right there for defense, and Strobel picks it off, gives it back to Waters. Oh, and the travel call. Coach Waters giving some encouraging words over there to his sister. All right, the Broncos get the ball inbound, looking to catch up and cut into this lead that the Bruins have created. Gracie Lamont gets the rebound, but, man, she had two Broncos to defend or to get around. Oh, a nice block by Waters, but the foul is called.
Heard a lot of ball, though. Heard a lot of ball.
And that is going to be her third foul. 3 fouls each for Strobel and Waters, and look for Waters to maybe settle down a little bit.
You don't wear glasses. I don't know if you wear contacts, but
No.
I can't wear these. I just steam them up all the time. I'm pretty blind without it. I would love to help you out with the numbers because most of the time you got to put your mask on.
Yeah.
I really have not mastered that. Oh, those of you that wear glasses, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes. So I have to wear safety glasses for work.
Yeah.
And that's one of the problems that I have is the glasses just don't like to stay clean and clear of fog. All right, Lamont steps in, drives the paint, passes it over to Strobel. Strobel with an easy bucket. I think that Lamont is really going to end up being a key player to this team. Oh, she lets that one go by. Just a little bit of a missed assignment. But doesn't hurt too bad because Waters gets the rebound after a couple of misses. It's a 3-on-1, and that bucket is good. I didn't see who that is. That one Morris. I thought that's who it was. But Gracie Lamont is really going to be a good point guard for this team coming up.
She sees the floor,
Yes.
the whole picture, and she really passes well, too. She really does see the floor. And what is she, a freshman?
She is a freshman.
Yeah. So I have to admit, since I pretty much teach juniors and seniors, I see people in the hall, but
Yeah.
they're probably like, yeah, I've heard of you. I get you in a couple of years. Thanks a lot. There you go.
Well, I got to tell you, when my son had you, you were the only teacher that he actually talked about.
That's a bad sign, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to stop right there. Don't believe anything. That's what they say when they want to bash the new guy.
Oh, yeah. Nope. He actually enjoyed having you in class. He thought you were funny. And
Yeah, my wife thinks I'm funny every day.
my wife laughs at me a
stop.
lot.
Yeah, I can't stop laughing. Is that about it? Yeah.
Yeah. But then my daughter had you this year, and here we are again.
There we go.
The Broncos with the fast break, and there's Waters, and she is going to get another foul.
That was a
Number
hard foul.
4. Yeah.
Good foul.
Foul number 4 on Waters here with under a minute to go in the third. She is going to have to settle down or she's not going to play much of the fourth quarter. Coach Waters looks like he's going to leave her in the game.
You know, here's a good question for you. You've had children in lots of sports over the years. Did you ever coach?
Yes, I did. I coached Peyton in baseball from the time he was 6, and then started coaching softball. So, talking about softball, that's where I met Grace Simmons. And you probably know Helen Weitzel.
Absolutely.
Coached her in softball. Kaylee Sills, you probably knew her from last year. Coached her in softball. And that I had a lot of fun with softball. Softball, coaching girls is a completely different ball game.
You're absolutely right. When I was in my second or third year of teaching, I was at I taught at North Central High School, but I coached at West Lane Junior High School.
Yeah.
This is in the north side of Indianapolis. And there was a position of volleyball coach open, and the athletic director, very nice man, he said, oh, that was a good shot.
Nice job.
Said, you'll do fine. Just treat these young ladies like you would your sister. Well, that was the wrong advice. Well, we may need to come back. I'll finish this story some other time.
No, let's keep going with
that.
No,
it was just, I don't know.
Because it depends on how you treated your sister. You know, I know the way Peyton treated his sister, and I don't know that you can coach that way.
Well, let's put it this way. My sister never behaved the way some of these girls did.
Yeah.
But, I was 23 or 24, 25 max, and I didn't have but one child at the time. And I'll tell you, you become a lot better teacher and a coach after you've had your own children.
Yes.
And you understand things. But you're right. Coaching girls was different. The first time I ever coached was at Lawrence North High School, did some baseball and student teaching. And a big type of school, great baseball program. But what I remember a lot of times in coaching volleyball, that the girls would say, that one time they came to me and they said, it's great that we want to win, but we really want everybody to play. And I said, well, that's the delicate balance for me as the coach. I have a responsibility. My goal is to prepare you to play varsity volleyball when you go to North Central High School.
That's right.
But it was a great learning experience. I learned a lot about volleyball, but more learned about coaching younger women at that time. And it was a good experience. I went on to coach some basketball at Mount Vernon in Hancock County, freshmen, and that was a very, very good program at the time.
Yeah. So the one thing that I learned with softball and coaching girls is you can't treat them different than you would treat the boys. There was a different coaching style, but you didn't take it easy on them. You worked them out the same way you would the boys. You wanted them to be tough, just like the boys. And as a matter of fact, there's a girl sitting right down over there who has a younger sister that's out there on the court playing, and Erin Cagle.
Absolutely.
And she was on my team.
Erin's a freshman at Ball State.
Yes, she is.
Speaking today, the Bruins are looking for a few more gifted athletes to fill out their wrestling roster. And a few of our female students were talking about they could go into the 106. I believe 106 is one of the lower weight classes.
106 is.
So a few of them, actually it was one of our varsity cheerleaders was talking about the true story. I won't mention names, but they were talking about what that would entail. We have a few wrestlers in that class.
Right. My daughter actually said, no way, I don't want anybody knowing what my weight is. And it's not like she's a big girl or anything. She just said, no, not doing it.
I did catch her today say that if she had to be a super senior, next year she was going to play football and take a Bodie Malott spot. I always call him Mallet. She wants to be the kicker.
Was that a 2? Strobel. Back to almost leading the Bruins. Lease is leading in points, but Strobel following in with a close second. And a steal by Grace Simmons, and she's got it. Takes it all the way down, and man, a lot of contact. And here we go. Uh-oh.
Steve, we got Libbles in the game, back in the game. She's obviously going to have to play with some restraint here. She's got 4 fouls.
Yes, she is, and so does Lise, and she's in the game as well, so she's going to have to play with a little bit of restraint. A nice free throw shot, and boy, it got quiet all of a sudden in this gym.
Yeah, when they start hearing us more than anything, we're in trouble.
Yeah, and the Bruins take a 14-point lead now over the Broncos. Oh, they get it down on the block, and a nice block by Waters. She gets the steal with it, and now she's again, taking things a little slow, not being so aggressive. She's got the ball at the key. Dribbles, takes it all the way. Oh, and not real sure what happened to that one. And Simmons playing right in the face of her player. Lease with the rebound. Looks like she's going to take this one. Nope, she steps back. Double team to Strobel on the line for 2. Oh, they gave her 3. I thought her foot was on the line. Now I feel like...
I think you're... Well, I thought so too.
I feel like that guy from the movie Grown Ups. His foot was on the line. Who was this? Was it? Yeah, it was Daleville with the timeout.
Right.
All right, so with that, let's go ahead and play an ad or two, and we'll be back after this.
Hello, Blackford sports fans. This is head girls coach Mitch Waters. Thank you for tuning into the Blackford Sports Network and supporting your Blackford Bruins. When I'm not coaching, scouting, and watching basketball, I love scouring the internet for real estate opportunities, whether it be residential, land, or commercial. I look at them on a daily basis for all of my clients and prospective clients. As a proud coach, sponsor, and community member of Blackford County, I have a great sense of our market and what we have to offer. If you're considering buying, selling, or building, ask me how I can help you maximize your investment. Last but certainly not least, go Bruins.
His own Home Experts Realty. So he went and got his broker's license, and he's always enjoyed real estate, and I'd always thought about doing it. When COVID hit and they shut down the Jay County Community Center, he was like, well, no time like the present, and went and got his broker's license, and now he's just enjoying being a real estate broker. And I talked with him a little bit about that last night as well, or Wednesday night. And he said things are going really well for him. So, all right, the Broncos find themselves with a 17-point deficit that they've got to make up in less than 5.5 minutes. The 3, no good. Rebound, put back, no good. Strobel rebound. She gets it out to Waters. Waters is dribbling through traffic, gets it down to Lease for 2. The Bruins have found a little bit of a rhythm. Just need to stay out of foul trouble. Too many girls with too many fouls right now. Cagle gets the jump ball, and I believe that one stays with the Broncos.
Morris checking in for the Bruins. She's been in a couple of times tonight.
Yeah. It's good to see a bit of a mix and some fresh faces here with the girls. Good defense by Morris. The 3, no good. Rebound and putback is no good. Another rebound, no good. And Cagle with the double dribble. Not a whole lot she could have done different with that one. The ball looked like it just got away from her.
They're working tough underneath there.
Yeah, they
have been all night long.
It's like watching a boys game going on here. A lot of fighting. There's going to be some bruises. Morris playing good defense. She keeps the ball from going in the bucket. And now we've got another jump ball. That's definitely going to go Blackford way.
Goes to the Bruins.
And it looks like the Bruins, as I said before, slowing this tempo down here, letting some time run off that clock. A lot of bumping going on. Gets it down to Lease. Over to Simmons. Simmons gets blocked.
Partially blocked, yeah.
And Simmons doesn't like that. If you ever watch her, if she gets blocked or gets maybe embarrassed, she definitely goes right back at you. 2 points for Daleville. I think that was 13. Walker? Yeah, maybe 23. It was 23. Oh, nice job by Lease. 2 more points added to her total of 22 now. That 23 was Potler. Another 3.
Malia Walker
That was Walker.
for the Broncos.
Yeah, definitely the Bruins slowing down this tempo, trying to take some time off the clock. Well, maybe not. A 3 by Lease, no good. Rebound goes to Potler. Walker brings it down, drives it right into the paint, passes it to herself, off the glass, ring around the rosy for 2 points.
Malia Walker, 2-point shot for the Roughriders.
Waters looking up at the clock, seeing how much time they have left. Slowly making her way across the timeline. 2:40 on the clock. Simmons drives in, misses that layup. Rebound goes to the Broncos. And man, they like to push the ball. Oh!
Had one on Simmons.
That one was.
Foul Blackford, number 20, Simmons.
You know, you're always told that should be her third. That's not too bad for Simmons.
Blackford Kendall at the line for Daleville.
Free throw up, good.
Audrey Moss checks back in for the Broncos.
The band doing something crazy. That was my thing that I did in high school. I was a band member. And we used to have a lot of fun with the basketball games. The fake by Waters. She's going to dribble back to the top of the key. It looks like she wants to take some time off the clock. Not in any hurry. Slowly moving the ball. Gets it over to Cagle. Good passes, but Cagle not hard enough with that one. A nice job by Morris throwing it off of the Daleville player to make it go out of bounds, and Blackford retains the ball. Just a little over 2 minutes left in this game.
13, Malia Walker.
The Bruins with a 13-point lead. Simmons gets the ball in, and Cagle is just going to let this one. Not much movement going on. Lease with the ball at the top of the key. Back to Waters. Waters just going to dribble out to the top, and a quick foul by number 13, Malia Walker.
Foul Daleville.
That's her third foul. Daleville's got plenty of fouls to give.
Fifth.
It's the Bruins who are in trouble.
It's going to be exciting. We have some shooters on this team that can hit from the 3 mark, and then we've got 2 or 3 excellent ball handlers, handle with confidence down the floor. Some great passing tonight as well.
Yeah.
I really tell you, Grace has really played hard out. She's like 3 shades of bright red right now. She's a little frustrated, but she has been on the floor. She's been hammered a couple of times herself.
She just picked up the charge, and that's Malia Walker's 4th foul. But, yeah. Waters gets it down to Cagle. Not enough to go in, but look at that. Morris fights for the ball, still fighting for it, and Leaks grabs it now. They're back to the top of the key, and Coach Waters takes his second timeout. And Coach Waters posted on his Facebook page today that the Bruins are 1-0, the first time in 5 years that they've won their home opener, or their season opening game. So a good job by these Bruins. Now they're up 13 points going in with 1:21 on the clock left in this game.
It's Coach Waters' 3rd season? 2nd season. Okay.
2nd season.
All right.
Yep, last year was his 1st season. No. You're right. This is his
Okay,
3rd
season. Yeah.
Because he had 1 year before his sister came up. Then he had last year, and now this year. So this is his 3rd season. His 1st season didn't go very well. I think they won maybe 1 or 2 games all season long. And then he got this freshman class in, and I think they went 500 last year, just under 500. But a really good job. And now, for the first time in 5 years, they win their home opener. But now, having the chance to win their 2nd game and go 2-0 on the season. I wonder when the last time the Lady Bruins did that.
Kyra Westerfield, a senior, checked in for the first time tonight.
Oh, the Bruins get that one stole from them, but they go ahead and take it right back. Lisa's bringing it up the court. Oh, now she's going to – she had that one dribble away from her. Off the glass, no good. Waters with the rebound. They're going to get a jump ball call. Ooh, and Liv falls hard on her hip. Looks like she's going to be all right. Maybe just a big bruise. The Bruins still fighting, not giving up any momentum. But the Bruins are in a bonus situation, so they're going to the free throw line from here on out.
Liv Waters will be at the line for Blackbird.
So Waters gets one and a bonus if she makes it. It gets real quiet in this gym. She hits the first one. Bruins extend the lead to 14 now. Again, we want to see at least 100 viewers for these ladies. So if you know somebody that likes to watch basketball, have them check in. The three's no good. Cagle with the rebound. The ball gets away from her. And no good. Ooh, Waters. That's not Waters. It's Morris is going to pick up her first foul of the game.
Audrey Haas scores for Daleville's foul in play.
So Olivia Lease with 22 points on the night.
She found her rhythm, just like Strobel did second half.
Yep.
Started hitting us threes.
Ricker checks in for
A
Blackbird.
lot of potential this year. Going to be a great season. I think it's just going to be a great season all the way around for basketball here at the school this year. It's going to be exciting.
30 points.
Yeah, I
Bruins.
hope so. I hope that we get the whole season in.
Yeah.
Like I said, I talked with the IHSAA today, and I just wanted to get kind of a feel, you know, for their thoughts on whether the season was going to go or not. And 2 points by – that was Westerfield.
Westerfield.
Right?
Field scores for Blackbird.
But I wanted to get a feel for him, and he said we're going to do whatever it takes to get this season in. Whether that means that we have to cut out. Look at that, fighting for it. That's Chloe Wicker. And another 2 points for the Bruins. And that's going to be the game. But I was talking to them, and they said they were going to do whatever it takes this year to get this season in. If that means that they have to cut out no fans whatsoever, that would be something that they would have to look into. And, you know, if they had to do it, they had to do it. But they were going to try to get the rest of the school season in so that they didn't have to have what happened at the beginning of this year. So I'm really looking forward to that, and hopefully we can get this season in. And with that, let's go to a quick break, and we'll be right back.
They, what was their record last year?
They were either at 500 or just under 500.
They probably had 20 points in missed shots tonight, but yeah, they could have. I think 10 games from now we'd beat them 90-50. I really believe that.
I completely agree. Your Bruins win 66-49, the final score here. The Bruins over the Broncos, and hopefully here in just a few minutes after Coach Waters finishes up with his post-game meeting with the girls, he's going to come up here and we're going to have a little bit of a conversation with him, ask him his thoughts on the rest of the season and tonight's games. But right now, let's have one more break before we get to it.
Do you have aches and pains like Alexa? Call Clear Choice Chiropractic to set up an appointment. They have chiropractic care, laser, decompression, and massage therapies to get you feeling your best. Call them today at 765-348-5044 or visit their office at 1501 North Walnut Street in Hartford City.
Brianna's dad.
Okay.
All right, we are back, and my daughter's coming up here probably to bother us, but we're going to leave her go. Again, your Bruins win. Final score 66-49. Leading scorer of the game tonight, Olivia Lease. And what did you think of the game as a whole?
Well, I thought a lot of things that we were doing well. I think we hustled all game long. I didn't see any problem with that. We were, I think, early on a little nervous, a little tight. I mentioned to you, we probably had 10 bunnies there. We probably 20. But what I saw, especially when we were spacing the ball, we passed the ball around, and that's the key, is to reverse the ball as quick as you can. We had good shot selection. I was very impressed, again, with how hard Simmons worked for doing the scrappy stuff. What can you say about Waters and Lease? They're great athletes. They're great shooters. But in addition to that, look how much we saw Cagle scrapping under there. She was on the ground quite a bit tonight as well. So they've got people that can do, 2 or 3 different things. We've got 2 or 3 different great guards coming up the floor. Like I said, Strobel was down low in the post there and shot very well. So, saw a lot of great things tonight. And just, we're in game 2. And what is this, 2-0, and the first time in many years that the girls program has had, 2 wins. It's nice to be at home early on in the season. You get to play like that. And they showed, I think a lot of poise. Daleville was bigger. They had us there just size-wise, taller, and probably, they're just a little bigger than we were. But they were a much tougher team than we saw with Southwood.
Oh yeah, they were definitely scrappy.
Yeah.
The Broncos were. They definitely lived up to their name. The Southwood Knights. Obviously you would think Knight being a rough and tumble, but when you think of a Bronco, being free and having to fight for every day of your life, that's the way them girls. That's the way them girls played that game tonight. They played like their life depended on it. You don't see that much in basketball, but for some reason, that was like a football game going on out there on the court. And I like those kind of games. I like the ones that challenge you physically instead of mentally. But I thought that both teams did a really good job with their play. If you had to give a player of the game, who would you give it to?
Oh. I don't know. I don't know. Lee's probably.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, who would you?
I would probably say Lease.
Yeah.
Lease with 22 points.
Absolutely.
She was up and down the court. The only thing that Lease struggled with was her fouls, and that's pretty much it.
Right, and she had people again like Simmons was there with great passing for Lee. So
Right.
it took a lot. It was a great team effort.
Yeah, definitely a team effort.
And you've got somebody. It reminds me Cagle when she plays a little bit like if you remember Willman last year.
Yep.
Kind of that always going for the garbage. A tough player. Banged up a lot, but I thought just great and they played a lot of time. Wasn't a whole lot of subbing in, especially the first half. So.
Right. Somebody asked on the live chat, who's on crutches? We talked about it a little bit earlier. We'll go ahead and address it again. J.C. Soames tore her ACL. She is done for the season. She did it in soccer, but she is still here cheering on her team, even though she knows she can't play, but she does want to try to get back before sectionals. She wants to be a part of this team, and she wants to take this on her senior year and take it as far as she can. So that is J.C. Soames, the one that's on crutches. She just had surgery a couple weeks ago, I think, or maybe last week. So she is on the mend.
Soames is a senior.
Yep.
Very good student in National Honor Society, and she is planning on majoring in elementary education at Anderson. We spoke about that yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was saying, any thoughts about coaching or teaching at the high school level. I said, I think you'd be a pretty good English teacher. Of course, I want to see people go into that profession. But she said, no, I think I really want to work with the younger children. And I believe that's about the only senior I know of that wants to go into education. People tell you at this point it'll change 6 times in their freshman year.
Yeah.
But she did mention that the other day, and she really does maneuver the stairwells pretty well. And you can imagine, like any school, you don't want to get stuck in those stairwells, especially before or after lunch. So
that is right. You don't see a lot of the younger students or the younger generation wanting to get into teaching. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think part of it is they know how difficult it is. Yeah. They see people in school and they're like, how can you, I don't want to have to, they see other people not acting. I think that they also hear, or they might see it as a, this is not a lucrative profession. Some, I think, actually, the ones that want to do it, they like the lifestyle of it. They want to coach. They want to work with people. But it's a demanding job, and you're not only teaching, you're doing a lot of counseling, a little bit of social work, and you're on all the time. People are watching you, and you're dealing with parents and students and administrators, and it's a tough time because not only are you working with students face to face, you are also learning to become a great teacher by way of distance ed and right. Those technologies. So we're doing a lot of things that we weren't, I don't want to say trained to do, but when we went through our teacher training, and I'm 52, we were never trained to deliver instruction with a computer. Now, of course, computers were around, albeit Apple IIe's and a big VAX computer. For those of you that don't know what a VAX is, you can go Google it while we're talking. But
you can Google it on your really tiny
that's
computer.
Right, your little tiny computer. But, we train differently. And so the idea of teaching over anything, well, the internet was something they had in the computer lab for people who were really, really nerdy. Yeah. And, but yeah, so it is different. I do think that we'll see, there are going to be more and more positions opening as the baby boomers retire.
Yes.
So there is a huge number of vacancies still in things like math, English, but a lot of people can't believe that one of the biggest openings that's hard to find in Indiana, family and consumer science. And you wouldn't think that, but most schools offer that. It's hard to find family and consumer science teachers, and as you can imagine, physics, chemistry teachers. But it is certainly a calling. And I think one thing that we do give some of our students a chance to do is to do some cadet teaching. I have a junior student that works with the junior high students in the building. So I think when they get a touch of that and they enjoy that, that's something that they can do. I think that'll change over the years. I think we'll get more into it.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll get more as people start to retire, and they'll start making a push for it. But yeah, I mean, teaching is definitely a calling. I taught DARE for a few years when I was a police officer here in town, and I loved it. I loved getting in. I loved interacting with the kids. As a matter of fact, some of those kids still come up and call me by my rank and my name, and I'm like, man, I haven't been called that in probably 10 years. So I always know that it's one of my old students, and I loved doing it and enjoyed every minute of it. So hopefully there'll be some students that get into it and find a calling to do something like that. But it doesn't look like we're going to get Coach Waters to come out.
One thing to follow up on what you were saying there, Steve, and I think you can understand this having been in police, it's wonderful when you get to teach and work with people at a school like this. Now, I mentioned to you that I taught at North Central High School. Yeah. I was there during the gym caught on fire twice in the early 90s. That school had 4,000 students. This is a true story. The last day I was there 3 years. The last day I was there, I sat down for the end of the year faculty meeting. I sat by a gentleman and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" He goes, "Now, I'm sorry, I don't know who you are. And I've been here he goes, "I've heard of you." there were about 145 teachers, I believe. Yeah,
Yeah.
3 years we had never met. That's how big the building was.
Yeah.
But it's a lot different if you can work with students at a place like this, genuinely kind. And here's the big thing: our school's very safe.
Yes.
People feel safe.
Yep.
Our administrators make it a point to make it a very safe, comfortable building. And for those of you that if you're not fortunate enough to know, some places, a lot of schools don't feel like that. Well, our administrators have made it a point. People do feel comfortable. We have issues like tardiness and things like that, but those are really the big issues. If that's all we're worrying about, we're doing one great job. So, yeah, I wish the coach would come out. He certainly deserves a lot of praise, and I know you had a lot of questions for him, but you did a great job tonight. As always, you give a great play-by-play. We're lucky to have you doing what you do. It takes a lot of time, and, you've done this 3 or 4 years. You've done so many games. You travel.
Yep.
You've got some really cool equipment here. And, you're going to keep us updated of what's going to happen with this pay-per-view. And I suppose like anything else, this may change a little because things with COVID haven't stayed the same. 2020 is the year of change, right?
Yes, it is.
And
that's the one thing that you can say is constant.
And it's not that people don't share the details. I think even some of they'll tell you things change on a dime.
Yes.
And
they do.
I'm sure that you will keep us up to date. And, of course, Blackford Schools, our website, it's always up to date. They have great information that's posted there. So we'll keep you updated. And, of course, a lot of people know you, and you keep things posted on social media and things like that. I think it's going to be an exciting season. It was nice to see the band here tonight. But you said something earlier, this may be a year where we don't have cheerleaders. I can't say I know anything about that, but they've talked about trying to reduce the number of people. I mean, do you have bands? Do you have cheerleaders? Are they going to limit the amount of media? Well, that's tough, because you got mom and dad that want to see people, but it's people like you who've dedicated their time and their talent so that people like Grandma and Grandpa who are living in Florida or in Philadelphia, your wife's favorite place, at the best hangout in the world, they can watch this. And that's what's really cool, that you're doing this kind of, stewardship. So.
Yeah, Doug Smith is actually a parent of a band member, Braden Smith.
Yes. Now, I know who you're talking about.
He's a senior.
That's right, senior.
Doug Smith, the
That's
one
right.
that was in Philly.
That's
He's
right.
probably out there for work or something like that, but he's the one that checked in from Philadelphia. But you're right, and I do have to correct myself because Ed Thurman from WPGW Radio did correct me. The Bruins did win last year against this Broncos team, 48-36.
Well, and I don't know Ed Thurman. I believe I had his daughter in class, but Ed Thurman is kind of like a radio legend. I understand that because we're from my little town, but certainly he would know. He's kind of like, as you use the term, radio elite.
Ed Thurman, he's another one. I actually coached baseball with him, coached his son a little bit. But when I met Ed Thurman, everybody knows who Ed Thurman is. Ed Thurman started or was part of the old Hartford City radio station that they had that I believe was based right here in the high school. They used to have a radio program here, that's where he started out. And then he went to school and he did a paper or some research thing on all of the high school mascots around the Indiana area, and then found out why they used that mascot and how they came up with the names and things like that. Have you ever heard of the Hartford City Airedales?
No, is that like the original mascot?
That is the original mascot for Hartford City.
Like a dog, an Airedale dog?
Yep, like an Airedale dog.
Now, where would that come about? What's the rationale for that?
The head coach had an Airedale as a dog that I think he brought it to the practices, and it was always there, and it just became their mascot. They decided to call themselves the Hartford City Airedales.
I gotcha. Well, you know, that okay, I get that, and I understand. Well, you get some really cool, you know,
Yeah.
the Speedway spark plugs, the Mount Vernon Marauders,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Now, what is there like the what's Frankfurt, the hot dogs or not the wieners? I'm not sure,
no,
but
Frankton is the Panthers.
Oh, okay.
Frankton Panthers, I think.
So that
or
is
the Eagles.
Are we talking Frankton or Frankfurt?
Frankton.
Oh,
Frankton.
okay. Okay, I'm thinking
Frankfurt. You're
Frankfurt.
thinking way out
Yeah,
west.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
Somebody
I
will
don't know.
probably, you know, tell us what it is.
Ed
But
could tell you.
Yeah,
I
he
would
probably
love
could.
if Ed didn't do the basketball game sitting next to me, I'd probably bring him over and do an interview just to talk about some of the mascots and how they came up with their names, because Ed is an encyclopedia of high school athletics, and it's great to sit and talk to him. And if you ever get the chance, I highly recommend that you sit down and talk to him, because he is a wealth of information when it comes to high school athletics. He's been around for years. He's done Grant County sports. He was did the county schools, I think, or something to that effect. Just recently went over to WPGW, and he's one of the nicest guys, one of the greatest guys. And when you sit down and talk to him, make sure you have about an hour or 5 hours to sit down, because he can go on and on and on about some of the information that he has, and I love it. I'm really big into history, and especially local history and stuff like that. So, well, it's getting starting to get dark here.
Yeah, we're the last
gonna
ones here. Well,
so,
the official score is still at the little bit. They cleared all the benches away.
yeah,
so.
they kind of left him with just a little bit left there. So we're going to play one more ad, and once that ad is over, we're going to cut on out of here. Thank you, Dr. Nolly, for coming over and doing this with me tonight.
It's been fun.
A pleasure.
No, and you know, we thank you for all of the time that you put forth, and hopefully the ideas that we're going to have students that work in and learn student broadcasting and practice their craft, and that's what's important when you're teaching things like speech. And it's fun for me to get to do these things. I spent a lot of time doing your traditional board work in radio, did a lot of news, and you know, it was something that has changed. You know, it affected me. It's affected almost every aspect of my life, and I was fortunate enough that I even did continue to do that when I was on the faculty at Ball State. I did some of the stuff in the David Letterman studio and kept up with it. And so I just would like to share, you know, I want the students to get a chance to do that. But you did a great job tonight, and you've done just a wonderful job of being you know, a community, somebody that's serving the community so well, doing this and being so giving of your time. So, no, kudos to you, my friend.
I appreciate that. And with that, your Lady Bruins win 66.
United Way is a not-for-profit corporation serving Blackford County that is asking for your help. Knowing the impact of a merger could impact the financial support that we have provided to local agencies for several years. The Board of Directors is asking for your support now more than ever. Please consider donating to Blackford United Way so we are able to make decisions locally and support local agencies that provide essential services to those less fortunate in Blackford County.